The weather has been great recently, and with that being said, it seems like there's no place like home plate. Flagstaff Eagles Baseball have been impressive despite recent setbacks. The team has lost very impactful seniors off the mound coming into this season, but have yet to lose at home. What do these men have to do to overcome adversity, and what are your thoughts on what we should expect from these Eagles for the rest of the season?
Well, I think the Eagles have a great future ahead based off of what we have seen so far. They are undefeated at home this season, which is incredible, and they aren't just winning games by 1 or 2 runs. They are blowing out some teams right now. At the beginning of the season, they had a huge win over Millennium 17-7, which gave them a huge confidence boost. Their most recent big victory was against Buena 8-1. This team is really stepping up after losing a lot of impactful seniors last season. Someone who is stepping up this year is senior catcher Jared Wetzel, who has had a great start this year with 10 hits under his belt. Junior captain Drew Healy has been seeing the mound recently, and in their game against the Prescott Badgers, he only allowed 3 runs. I believe this Eagles team keeps doing what they are doing. They're going to have a great rest of the season and a good run in the playoffs.
I agree. These men are very talented and know how to give their fans what they want. Coach Michael Bodosh has his work cut out for him, especially with such young captains. The near and far future are looking bright for these Eagles. Let's move along to our next topic. Well, I think it's time for someone to take me out to the ball game, not just for the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks, but for Coconino baseball. These men seem to be bouncing back from recent losses, beating Mohave Thunderbirds with over a 10-point margin, even beating teams like Moon Valley and Independence. I'm very curious to know what the near and far future is going to look like for these Panthers.
That's right, the Badgers had a great comeback, and boy did they need it. Some of the greatest teams are the ones who can bounce back from losing and learn from their mistakes, and that's exactly what this Panthers team did. They started the season with 2 great wins over Moon Valley and Independence, but then fell into a 3-game losing streak. But their recent 11-1 win over Mohave shifted their confidence and gave them what they needed to get through the rest of the season. A player to look out for is sophomore Jake Plekas, who has 25 RBIs and 2 home runs already this season, which is the top on his team. It will be interesting to see if this team can keep this up and finish out the season strong and make it to the playoffs.
With players Jared Baca, Jake Reed, and Christian Casados leading the team, it is not surprising to see the Panthers come back better than ever. Let's move along to our next topic. This season has been great for these ladies. NAU women's tennis seems to always be impressive. The season did start off a little shaky, but these ladies fell to teams UC Davis and U of A during their season openers, but proved their doubters wrong quickly after. Win after win after win after win. It felt like 9 to be exact. But of course, swinging that 10 wasn't easy. Also, NAU men's tennis is coming off their 3rd consecutive win. Is a 4th in their future? What are your thoughts on these Lumberjacks?
The Lumberjacks women's team is having a great season so far. They started off with losing 2 games, but they bounced back in the best way possible. They went on a 9-match winning streak. But unfortunately, Wyoming State wouldn't let them get to 10 easily. The Cowgirls won the match 4-3 in an impressive comeback. But the Jacks are still 6-0 at home with their win over Idaho State. Senior Haley Rutschen helped the Jacks clinch the win over Idaho, winning her set 6-4. This is a tough NAU team, and I look forward to watching the rest of their season. The NAU men's tennis team is coming off a 3-game winning streak and puts them undefeated in the Big Sky Conference. Sophomore Tim Handel and sophomore Ruben Montano dominated in their doubles match against Southern Utah, winning 6-1. Both of these teams are hardworking, and it's paying off, and we'll see how they do in their upcoming matches.
I agree. Hard work pays off. Both teams always amaze me, and I'm sure the Lady Lumberjacks are going to be working hard to keep their winning streak at home. And as for men's tennis, they are always looking to keep a place within the Big Sky Conference like they did last season. With that being said, I think it's time to move on to our last topic of the night. NAU Golf is making moves and turning faces as this team just continues to keep winning. This team has so many talented faces, but amongst these Lumberjacks, Sofia Anokhina just seems to be surprising crowds with each putt. Michaela, what are your thoughts about this team and this young athlete?
Well, Sofia Anokhina is taking over NAU Golf by storm. She just won the Big Sky Golfer of the Week for the 3rd time this season. She is also coming off another first-place win in the Sacramento State Invitational, which took place earlier this week. The Lumberjacks only played 2 rounds instead of 3 due to weather restrictions, but regardless, Sofia still finished 3 under par in the tournament. On top of receiving the Big Sky Golfer of the Week, she is beating NAU records. Her average round score of 73.25 is #1 in NAU school history. With her most recent win against, she has tied the school record with former Lumberjack Stephanie Kim with most tournament wins in a single season. The Lumberjacks finished 6th overall in the tournament earlier this week. They are having an amazing season and are gearing up for the ASU Invitational in Tempe next week.
No doubt, Anokhina is going places big and far. She has already proved that with winning 3 state invitationals back-to-back, which is just something few athletes can do, especially with her beating NAU Golf records. In my opinion, she has potential to be the next Stacey Lewis or even better.